Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I literally have consecutive good news this morning. First, it's Magic the Gathering Arena time. Yes! I've been watching a whole lot of Ben Stark draft videos, been learning a lot more about the M19 format, and I'm really excited to blast through this, hopefully with more success than before. Although I'm envious of my buddy Tristan, who I gave him one of my beta key codes, and he's played probably 5 or 10 times as much Magic as I have. He's really been a much higher level player for longer than I am. And he's gone, like, of all of his quick drafts, the lowest win he's ever had is 4. And he's gotten several 7s, several 6s, and a few 5s, and 1 4. He just crushes. So we're going to try to crush today. As is the usual Friday, M19 Quick Draft. Ooh, sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. I want to note the other thing that is really exciting is that next week I'm going to be going to the International to watch the Dota 2s. They're currently in the middle of group stages right now, and y'all should 1,000,000,000,000,000% check it out. Let me open this pack real fast. I have a lot of packs. When I'm drafting by myself, I just never open the packs. I just wait for him here. Isolate, exile target permanent will convert mana cost 1. This is like... Isn't this just a critical modern card to deal with things like Deathrite Shaman? I think so. Madrigal says, I have not super crushed M19. Dominaria and Amonkhet, I got M19. I'm super missing something. Dominaria, I felt really confident with after some time. But M19 really just feels primarily like white-red. Like, it's all about the disruption, I think. I think that, like, blue-black, a lot of disruption and control is good. And, I think that white-red is good because it has a lot of ways to get around disruption. Has a lot of swinginess in there. Oh, yes. Oh, that's so nice. Deathrite Shaman hasn't been legal in years. Isn't it legal in Modern? Because I know it's rotated out of.
It is good to see.
I don't know Modern very well. Actually, I should say I don't know Modern at all. I have not played Modern. But those cards that are like, do something really specific to something power 1 or less, always feels like, oh, this is a legacy card. Oh, this is a Modern card. You know, one of those things that are just like, you know, it's never really going to be that amazing in a draft. God, I really like a Johnny. Like, a lot. It was actually also banned Legacy too. Deathrite Shaman got banned? Oh, man. I had no idea. That's amazing. Oh, my God. This is one of the best cards in the entire sets. Oh my god. Disternerson says any recommendations for a first Friday Night Magic? I'm going to my first one night with black-green Saprolinks. Oh yeah, just have a blast and chat people up. You'll get to borrow people's decks. You'll do some trading. It is impossible not to have a great time. Unless you're like really going there to try to win. I think it's a terrible idea to do a Friday Night Magic. Stitcher's Supplier. Okay, so Leonin War Leader is very clearly the best card here. This is just a draft winner. It's a 4/4 for 4, which is already a great stat line. And then when it whacks, it summons 2 1/1 white cats that don't disappear at the end of turn. That's amazing. Ghostspark Twin is actually pretty nice. Hey, Despy. Hey, how's it going, sweetheart? Yeah, you're going to need to get off the power. Come on. Come on, it's set to a 15-second off. There we go. Ghostspark Twin is nice in that big green fatties are actually pretty relevant. There's not a ton of huge creatures. I even think that the 6/6, the Dreadmaw, is actually like a very solid card. I think that green as a base is kind of weak, though. I think you just need some disruption in there. Some red or black heavy removal focus. Brawlbash Ogre is a really good card in the black-red sacrifice deck, like if you have an Act of Treason, but I just think it's a very bad idea to first pick and to try to build around this 2-color archetype. I think I've been overvaluing Snapping Drake. I've watched so many Ben Stark videos. And he does not even mention this. Ben Stark, by the way, is a Channel Fireball content creator. Come on, get off. No, just get off. What are you doing? Stay there. Here, look. Here's an empty coffee cup that you can play with. Ben Stark never picks this, like, ever, at the same value level that I do. Because I thought a 3/2 flyer is pretty good, but I'm realizing more and more how important it is to actually have some presence in the first few turns. And Snapping Drake, a good way to think of this is that this is not a turn 4 play. This is really not a turn 4 play if you're like a defensive control deck. I have a cat right here. Because if you slam this down and your opponent has any board presence, you're playing something that can't block, that is a weak blocker, that is expensive. So that's part of the reasoning behind that. Doom Dissenter is fine. Infectious Horror is not good, but I still lose to it. Hostile Minotaur is okay. Let me get my other coffee. I'm out of coffee in the house. Lava Axe, way worse than I was giving it credit for previously. Marauder's Axe and some of these other axe-like, just aggro type things I'm increasingly recognizing the value of. Sparkton Dragon's also pretty fine. Go ahead and take Leonin War Leader. What do I think about Gutter Snipe? Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. This is a really cool card for blue-red, but I do not think that this works very well in white-red. Supreme Phantom is very mediocre. I think there's almost no other spirits at all. Colossal Majesty, I feel like, is one of the actual core enablers for Green Ramp, but, I mean, I've not found Green Ramp to be that good. Skeleton Archer is far better than I realized. I think that this pack is overall relatively weak. This card's actually pretty fine. I really like just the thick trample, and this forces something to not be able to block. This is much better than I initially thought. I think the Star-Crowned Stag is probably the play here. Probably the play. I mean, Catalyst Elemental's not exceptional. I'm going to go ahead and pick this. Novice Knight, I don't like early picking. I generally really don't like picking Novice Knight early because, you know, you just don't know if you're going to be able to enable it. If it's a later pick, then yeah. Two-Headed Zombie, the Menace is way better than I realized. Macabre Waltz is way better than I realized. Salvage of Secrets is as good as I realized. What do I think about Cavalry Drillmaster versus Goblin Instigator? I would like to be white-red. I really like. I think white-red's probably the strongest. Is Deckmaster running? Oh, it has frozen. That is the issue. Open file location. There we go. Deckmaster should be running now. Sorry about that. I didn't realize it had locked up. Totally on me. Okay, so let's see here. What do I think are the picks? Do I think this is that great? A 2-1 is only okay. There's a lot of 1/3s. But this is good to sort of, you know, get a little extra damage in. I think it's between these two, and I think that because I'm not a good player, I can't really tell the difference. Okay, let me do something that I think is very responsible for me. What about the colors that are not white-red? Skilled Animator. This is the one that makes a 5/5. Okay. Tolerant Scholar, no. Salvager of Secrets is pretty good if I can be like a control deck, but like white tends to be pretty creature heavy, so I don't think we're going to actually have a lot of good spells to target. Salvager of Secrets is really nice in like blue-black, where you actually have some pretty sick black spells. I think I'm just going to take the Cavalry Drillmaster, because this seems like it'll synergize with a lot of the stuff that I want to pick. I don't know if this is a late Star-Crowned Stag, but I'm very happy to get this Star-Crowned Stag. Nothing else in this pack is particularly nice. Druid of the Horns technically is a good card for the enchantment, the white-green enchantment deck. But I found the white-green enchantment deck to be pretty bad. There's just like a lot of bounce. I feel like if I'm getting this like in the second pack, I'm pretty happy about it. But I think that Starcrowned Stag is sufficiently nice for me to just stick in white. We have Psychic Corrosion, which almost won us a game on game nights. Tickle Buddy says, how strong going to draft and watch the International? I'm watching right now. Currently, I have Optic versus Team Serenity open. Go Optic. Bleed green. So right away, I think the big thing that I'm painfully aware of is that I need a lot more low drops. I'm looking for Goblin Motivators if I'm white-red. Bogart Brute is way better than I realized. It is. That menace is super significant. Super duper significant. Hey, Null Rush, happy 51 months. On my way to those late-stage sub-badges. Hell yeah, man. Given that I'm so creature heavy, I don't think a cancel is good. I think cancel is one of these cards who doesn't have absolute goodness. Like Leonin War Leader is good in just an absolute sense. This is just good. But cancel really depends on the deck that you're in. Like if we're in a control deck and I'm going to be leaving mana open, then yeah, cancel's great because I'm going to be passing turns waiting to get my huge dudes. But cancel just overall as a card this is like dangerous to run in like a blue-white kind of thing that's going to be very creature heavy. Okay. This is interesting. Now, Thud, I think I didn't realize how good it was. Thud, the reason I realized this was so good is that it deals creature's power to any target. So this is actually reach and removal. It causes us to force a sacrifice of something, but I think that this can be quite good if I want to get some extra burn. And this is the most incredible card art humanly possible. It also has obvious synergy with Active Treason, but Active Treason is a common rarity, and Thud is uncommon. So right now, I'm very much so leaning towards that. I do like Rock's Oracle if I'm in a ramp deck. Onake Ogre I used to value highly, and I do no longer. Knight's Pledge, I think it's okay to run a couple of these things. But I'm going to try... When I say a couple of these things, I don't mean a couple of Knight's Pledge. I mean a couple of creature buffs. I undervalued creature buffs in Boros, in white-red. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pick the Thud. Bonf Etude. Dwarven Priest is kind of shitty. All of these are pretty bad. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Plummet. We're starting to get into sideboard territory. I might pick up the Havoc Devils. We already kind of have a lot of 4-drops that are really good in white. I actually think maybe I might lean towards white and avoid these doubles. These double reds, right? We already have some double white and Starcrowned Stag. Most of these cards are quite poop. Plummet is probably the best card here, but Dwarven Priest at 2/4. Pretty bad stat line. Not an exciting effect. I'm going to take it and likely not run him. Inspired Charge is probably it. This, I didn't realize how high quality a card this was, but I think it's much better in a control. When you kind of wind up falling into a control situation. Gearsmith Guardian does not really have the synergy. I think Inspired Charge is fine. We might also not be red. We could be white-green, for instance. Now that's an interesting question. We could be white-green. Towns of Wildwood. I don't think the Druid will wheel. This is kind of a late Vampire Neonate. I think this is one of the better cards in the entire set. I'm going to get Inspired Charge because I just really like Boros. I really, really like Boros. I'm not super thrilled about Rustwing Falcon. I actually think I'm going to go for the Marauder's Axe. I think that this card is just very good in Boros. We could argue the Hostile Minotaur, but I've essentially picked only creatures except for the Inspired Charge and the Thud. I think Marauder's Axe is actually fine. Catalyst, Elemental's just the obvious selection because everything else there is very weak. Hey, look, it's our good friend the Novice Knight. I mean, we might run it, right? I don't know if we're going to run Rustwing Falcon. Gearsmith Prodigy is going to go to the sideboard. Bog Stomper's going in. Oh, boom, the Swamp. Oh my god, this is a absolute monster. I had no idea how good this was. The very first draft on M19 that I played, I got a Demon of Catastrophes, and I was like, I don't know, is that good? I didn't know about the archetypes. I didn't know that black-red sacrifice was a thing. I didn't realize that really M19's kind of all about the big flyers. It's kind of all about the big flyers. Let's look at some of the other things. Oh, thank God, there's a Luminous Bonds. There's another Bogart Brute. Will that wheel? What do I think about this pack? Abnormal Endurance, I did not understand properly. Which is, this is a really good card. This is like a save a card. This is like an interesting type of combat trick. Draconic Disciple is a very cool card. Because it is a mana accelerator and it can get you a dragon. But obviously we're not going to go for that. Bone to Ash is very good. I think that, I mean, black-blue, this is a great black-blue pack. Fell Spectre is pretty damn nice. I think it's very clear that we go for the Luminous Bonds. We're so white. God, I'm white. There's a Goblin Motivator. That's a nice pickup. Shield Mare. How does this guy work? That's not exceptional. Ghost Stock Radiate says you forgot to tweet. We gave you a day off and forgot the drill. No, something's been going on my Twitter lately. I can't really do anything with it right now. Not sure what that's about. But, Goblin Motivator, perhaps. Invoke the Divine. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. You gain 4 life. Interestingly, this is more relevant than it initially seems. This is actually kind of hilariously relevant. There's a lot of artifacts. There's a lot of enchantments. I think double white for an early 2-3 is bleh. Pretty much all the good Boros decks are going to be jamming in some Goblin Motivators. There's a Lich's Caress, which is just sickeningly nice. I think that this is a motivator pick. I don't believe that I want a double white if I'm running Boros aggro. It's very easy to get into a position where it just can't do anything. There's another Goblin Motivator. Oh, this is an artifact booster. It's another Dwarven Priest. This is not a particularly exceptional pack, but I think it's pretty clear motivator. Hey, what up, Bear Tato style? Ooh, okay. All right, we got some choices here. We could stick on the go wide plan. Let's see. I'm going to put some of these things that I'm a little bit unsure about. I don't think I want the Rustwing Falcon. These are the 2 1-drops that I really want. Now the question is, do we want to go wide with more Goblin Instigators? Do we want to get in with the Viashio Pyromancer? I kind of almost always lean towards the go wide. It's a little bit more disruption invariant. There's not a lot of ways for him to deal 1 damage to everything. I think I want the Goblin Instigator. I think that that's always a good plan to go for. I think that this Active Treason may very well wheel. Alright, we have another Cavalry Drill Master. This is a pretty relevant effect. I think this is... Our deck is shaping up to look pretty gosh darn nice. Okay. Now here's an interesting question. Do I want a second Inspired Charge, or do I want a Knight's Pledge? I kind of like having a Knight's Pledge. They wheel a lot. They re-wheel a lot. Not Lava Axe, not Crash Through. It's really between Inspired Charge and Knight's Pledge. And I mean, Inspired Charge technically works better for wide, but I don't know if we've necessarily been able to commit to that yet. I think I'm get a Knight's Pledge. Is anything else really that good? No. Can we actually activate this? No, we have a Knight's Pledge and we have an Axe. Luminous Bonds. I think this is a pretty clear act of treason. Revitalize, I actually thought was a unbelievably crap card, but I've seen it used relevantly. God, what a perfect Goblin Instigator. This is great. Mighty Leap. Don't like as much as Knight's Pledge. Rustwing Falcon. I mean, sometimes I would actually, like, cut a card that I didn't want to be up against, but that's not how drafts work on this. There's our Invoke the Divine. There's also Trumpet Blast. Let's see, how many creatures do we have? I think we just can't ever run this. We have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 cards with 6 spelly type things. Maybe we do want to bring back some Rustwing Falcons. It's very possible. It's very, very possible. I feel like this is not going to be as relevant for our deck that's just trying to beat ass. We might not run the Trumpet Blast. Probably not going to run this Knight of the Tusk. There's a second act of treason. Part of me likes more active treasons. Less Trumpet Blasts. I think Inspired Charge is better than Trumpet Blast here. If we took the Knight's Pledge, I think that we should definitely get the Rustwing Falcons back in here. Let's get this one out. Ah, God. Do I actually want 2 Knight's Pledges? We need more creatures. And Rustwing Falcon and Knight's Pledge is just like a comically powerful combination. What do I think? I actually don't know if I want the Active Treason or the Knight's Pledge. I'm going to pick Active Treason because I think we can pick up another Knight's Pledge later. And then I can make the decision in draft. Or excuse me, in draft, in deck building. Okay, this is weird. Because Take Vengeance is destroy target tapped creature. But I think I actually want the Spark-Tongue Dragon here instead for the following reason. If we're really being aggressive, this is removal. What the fuck am I talking about? I think we just take this. I think, I don't know. Like, I took a Take Vengeance in the past Boros deck that I did. And I didn't like how it played out at all. Because my opponents were never attacking, they were just defending. I think I actually do want the Spark-Tongue Dragon. I think it's better for what we're going for. And that's just simply our high end of the curve. Oh! Oh, yes! Yes! This is the best card! This is the best Boros card. Period. Period. Oh, what? I can make a 4/4 Angel? Yeah, shut up. What? I'm going to get health when the life happens? Bullshit. I don't care. What, you're going to get artifacts back? No. Don't give a damn. Heroic Reinforcements. Absolute all-star. Absolute unit. Well, this is the extra turn one. I think if this was a Chaos one, I'd take this as a way to, like, win out against control decks. But I think Cavalry Drill Master. I think another Cavalry Drill Master is going to be pretty tight. Might cut the motivators and just shoot for the stars. Oh, yep. Great. This is part of Team Go Wide, Gallant Cavalry. We're kind of thick on the 4s. None of these are that great. Oh my god, another Cavalry Drill Master. Jesus. I think I'm actually cutting the motivators and not actually going as hasteful. I think Stone Quarry might actually be the pick here. Just make a stand good. Alright, let's actually do some attempts here. We're missing some in this section. Luminous Bonds, Active Treason. Bogart Brute is essentially our only 3-drop. I mean, like, all of these 4-drops are so good. Jeez. We might cut the Thud, but we might keep it. Make a stand. The fact that they're indestructible is really nice. I think this land is actually going to wheel. I want this land, but I really think make a stand is particularly nice because it's indestructible. I think I actually make a stand here. I think I actually do. I have to be very cautious that I have enough creatures. I think 100% the Loxodon line breaker for that way when I do the deck construction. I don't need it. I'm not going to run 3 of these. So I'm not actually going to run anything here. I mean, I guess I'll take it. Johnny's welcome just doesn't matter. Alright. We might run a trusty Pack Beast for the sake of the curve. We might actually run the Catalyst Elemental for the sake of the curve. Maybe for the sake of the curve. Oh shit, land and wheel. That's okay. So I'm actually gonna... pull some cards out of here. I'm gonna pull a lot of cards out of here. Pulling a ton of cards out of here. Pulling a lot of cards out of here. I think I want these. 2 1s that are providing first strike. Alright. I'm just going to briefly try to get in just the best cards. I think these are my best cards. Okay, I think I do want 2 Rustwing Falcons, because we have Marauder's Axe and Knight's Pledge to go on. So if I look at this right now, I have 14 creatures and 5 non-creatures. I want to get that creature count up by 2. So when I look at the curve, the big thing that's missing is the 3-drops, right? I have a lot of these Cavalry Drill Masters coming down. I think Rustwing Falcon with Cavalry Drill Master is probably going to be great. Spark Tongue Dragon is particularly nice because Big Flyers is really where it's at. Like a 3/3 flyer is, for whatever reason in M19, it's just really damn good. So let's try to get in some more creatures in here. I think I might just put in some Loxodon friends. I think Loxodon Linebreaker, purely for the fact that they have an aggressive stat line. Alright, so now we have 16 creatures, so we have a pretty good... I mean, we have so many good 4-drops. It's just disgusting. Wow, look at that feature! You hover over, and it shows you? Ooh, damn. Damn, I like that. Wow. Alright, so let's see. In terms of... So Active Treason is really good. Like, obviously a very good card, but I don't want to run more than 1 of that. I don't think I actually run a Goblin Motivator in this deck. I actually believe that I don't. I think that the Cavalry Drill Master, I think of as like a white replacement for that. I mean, I'm really feeling that we put in this Inspired Charge and this Make a Stand. So if we look at this, we have 16 creatures and 7 non-creatures. right? We have a very clear early curve, very white-focused, which is good mana-wise, right? Because Instigator, you want to play on turn 1, and that's really good. But if I'm running these Cavalry Drill Masters that require white mana, I'll probably want to lean towards white mana early game anyways. So, Goblin Instigator we definitely want. Goblin Motivator, I think we don't want. I may have misspoken. Sorry if I said Motivator when I meant to say Instigator. But yeah, then we can get the Goblin Instigator, which is fine as a 2-drop, fine later when we have the Make a Stand or Inspired Charge. And I don't think I want the Trumpet Blast as well, because in terms of like my blowout, really poop upon you cards, Active Treason, Make a Stand, and Inspired Charge, I think are all very nice. We have some extra value out of the Knight's Pledge. Marauder's Axe is going to be really nice. Loxodon Linebreaker is the one that I'm most mediocre on. I'm going to scoot you a little, sweetheart. Yeah, there you go. Alright. So how do I want to do the mana for this? Definitely not 12 planes. I think that this is a 10-7 deck, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards total. 6 out of our 23 cards require red mana. And then we have several double white. I think 10-7's right. I think 10-7 is good. I think Instigator is going to work really well with our Cavalry Drill Master, with our Marauder's Axe. Knight's Pledge is a very good target. I think this deck is looking very nice. Now, would we ever want... Do we want to go to 16? There's a question. Do we want to go to 16 land? What do we think about trying to get a Thud in there, huh? If we went to 16 land, we'd want the creature. What do I think about getting Thud in there? I think maybe I don't want Thud. I think maybe not. We don't have a Trumpet Blast in here. Don't have our Motivators. Don't have our Catalyst. Catalyst Elementals are the weakest of all of here. You know, just because I'm not good enough, I'm just going to stick with 17. I think that was a really good draft. I think that was a really good draft. I'm really pleased with that draft. I think I mulligan this, right? Ooh, this is tough. This is a weird opening hand. Like, we have a turn 2 play. We're going first. It's not a great hand, but I still think it's acceptable to keep. Because we're going first. Already drawn out all our mountains. Alright, well. Looks like we got blown out. So if I draw a white mana, Knight's Pledge is going to be super amazing to play, and then Gallant Cavalry as a follow-up. Alright, looks like our opponent is us. Oh my god. Alright, we just got really rough opening hand. And this is like incidentally a bad matchup. Well, don't worry, cat. It's just a phone. Wow, that was really bad. This is just like the worst possible run out, but it's alright, that happens. Okay. Okay. I think I need to begin to build the board. Alright, since we're taking offline for emergency maintenance, 15 minutes. Alright, cool. That happens. So this actually gives us a bunch of stay ability. I think we play the Gallant Cavalry first. Emergency maintenance kind of stinks. So, depending on what we wind up seeing here. So, now that this has happened, I think, okay, so... Whoa. I think everything blocks this. I mean, if this blows up our board, that kind of sucks. But, you know, what are you going to do against a Leonin War Leader, honestly? Okay, that's actually helpful. I'm going to run out our Spark Tongue Dragon. We're going to decline to take action. We're just going to chill. We'll probably have to do some trading. Draw a card, gain some life, so that's good. There was no combat tricks for H-Boy 22. Definitely going to block these two. Definitely going to block this one. But is that correct? I think this is about as good as it's going to get, right? We get some value here. This guy's a commander. We get some trades in. We're at 10. We're clearly on the defense right now. Our opponent had a very, very good opening draw. I think our opponent's actually mono white. That's fine. Doesn't really change very much. I think the game is stalled out. So I think I obviously have to do this. H-Boy 22 has not had a combat trick in a while. Alright, yep. And that sucks, but... +2/+1 to trade. I mean, we're not going to get a better time to do it. May as well do it. Arguably, I should have blocked the other way. Yeah, Rustling Falcon, baby. I think the only way we win is if we also get, like, a Leonin War Leader and then get some buffs for it. Alright, we still have some turns in us. I mean, this is a very weak board for H-Boy. Alright, that's gonna kill us. Going exactly Leonin War Leader. Okay. No attackers. Nice. Right with that no blocks. Alright. Concede. Okay. I don't really mind that loss, because that was just horrid opening hand. And then we started to stabilize, and our opponent got a absolutely sick opening game. That's okay. That's okay. I think we can sneak in one more game. Yeah, isn't the deck overlay just incredible? Adam Artis says, is there any system you use to determine land proportions in 2-color? Can't tell whether you're doing them through feel or by mental arithmetic. I'll give you a really simple heuristic to go by. You generally always want 9-8. Unless you're leaning hard towards one color, then probably like 10-7. That's great. And the reason that I suggest that is that there's absolutely cases where, you know, you'll do 12-5, but they're freaking rare. So to add a little nuance to that, I will generally do things that will try to account for what is my curve in this game. This one! So for instance, if all my early cards are white and all my late cards are red, I might lean towards white mana. For the very, very simple reason that I want to make sure that I can play my low drops. So let's say I had a complete even split between white cards and red cards, but all my early game cards were white. I would lean towards 9-8, 9 being the plains, because I just want to make sure I get those. Or let's say I have a really aggressive set of low drops. I might lean towards 10-7 there. 10 being whatever the mana of my low-cost creatures are. Because I really want to make certain that I hit those low drops. And that's about it. That's about how I'm evaluating it. Because I've played a pretty decent amount of Magic. You know, not crap loads, but you know, pretty decent amount. I'm defining crap load as, like, you know, many thousands of hours, over 10,000 hours. I've probably played, you know, 3,000-4,000 hours of Magic. And given that, sometimes you just have a feel for it, where you're like, oh yeah, we definitely just want one plains. And it's kind of funny, because I don't terribly change my land decisions in my deck building. Now, like, the more experience I get, it's just that I have more confidence and understanding of why exactly I'm doing 10-7. Because you do start to get a feel for it, where it's not like, oh, well, dude, Case told me I should do this, so I should really fucking do that. All right, so is this a win? He might try to cancel this, which is why I'm playing it first and then heroically reinforcing second. We want this one. And then we're going to cast this. And if this gets canceled, that is A-okay. Our opponent is going to be completely out of mana. Yeah, that's fine. Like, I mean, there's the first strike damage. There's the base damage. This is really disgustingly sick. And then the servers are going to go down for maintenance, so... I don't want to stop, man. I don't want to wait for this game to be over. And then I think Doc Faust is dying. So I'm going to go ahead and cast this on one of our stags. We're going to go ahead and go to combat. I'll attack. And then we're going to remove this as a blocker and remove that as a blocker. So the only thing that he can do is block with this thing. And then he dies. Great. I'm going to try to sneak in one more game. God, I know the intelligent thing to do is to be like, well, not the intelligent, but more like the modest, reserved thing. Is to be like, no, servers are going down 5 minutes. Let's just wait. We're just going to have to play fast, man. That's what we're going to do. Does anyone have any information about how long the servers are going to be down? function way better under intensity and pressure than I do without that. Like, universally. So the fact that, like, G. Smitty and I are under the pressure. Whew. Like, when things are really relaxed, you know, especially in, like, turn-based games that are kind of gentle, and, like, you know, you don't really get to do that much. Like, oh yeah, man, I'm telling you. I tend to, it's like my brain goes into a lower state. It goes into that calm, chill mode. But when there's, like, real-time pressure, oh yeah. The next turn, I'm going to swing with this and play the Gallant Cavalry, probably. Maybe do I want a Marauder's Axe as well? Nah, put on my Gallant Cavalry. That's fine. This is, you know, one of the common removal spells for green. And it's really nice because it's not a fight. It's actually just blank removal. I think Tormenting Voice in green-red is fantastissimo. No blocks. That's great. Okay, so I think that's 100% Gallant Cavalry. I'm increasingly thinking that maybe I should have gone 16 land. It's 5 damage to target opponent. Decline. Just hurt me. Hurt me, friend. Okay, so we gotta play this. I think it's actually important that I just go into the damage anyways. Probably gonna block here, and I'm gonna get in 5. But I can't really imagine what else I would do, especially with 5 minutes left. G. Smitty's also in a slightly awkward spot in that he needs to be a bit careful with attacking. I mean, I'll absolutely double block. Well, alright, we're probably pretty screwed here. Oh, we're dead. Is there any way for me to win this? Probably not. Because I would need to win on this very turn, and we're dead. Wow! Dude, this deck is actually way good. But keep just not quite having the momentum at the start, and I think the argument against it, well, so the first game we lost was just really stinks, but second game that we lost, I think that it's arguable that I should have chucked, because if we look at our draft deck, like, we actually have a pretty good amount of 2 and, you know, turn 1 and 2 plays. So we haven't really gone the turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 curve. I think I maybe was a little thick at the high end. Man, I don't want the servers to go down for maintenance. This is so sad. Oh, this is devastating. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over.